All right, I'm home. It's a couple of days later. I'm kind of cheating my days here. This is actually Tuesday, but whatever. It is so good to be home. I have slept in a lot over a few days. Um, been able to sit down at my glorious computer setup and have some fun. I kind of miss playing games. Um, Tonight, a few folks came over, the first years. Um, yeah, and we watched the second Pirates of the Caribbean movie, which was fun. It's been a long time since I've seen it. I've seen the first movie a lot, but the second and third movies I've only seen once or twice. The fourth movie I've only seen once. And I think the fifth I've only seen once, so it was a bit of a refresher for me. Tomorrow classes begin again. Well, kind of. We have an evening class, Masterworks Choir, which you'll learn about. um, yeah, it's not my favorite class. Partly because it's really challenging. We sing complex music, not in English, but it is what it is. And we do create good stuff, so it's worth it in the end. But yeah, today, there's very little to report over the last day or two because a lot of it has been resting, unpacking, doing some laundry, um, chatting with my roommates, seeing old friends, just getting back into the fact that I'm in Rosebud. So this video is going to be more focused on the trip in reflection. After all, this was originally created as a journal. So, I realized in editing yesterday's video I never said what my favorite part of the trip was. I think my favorite parts... It's hard to pick an exact moment, but Six the Musical was phenomenal. I loved that a whole lot. Our improv games, and I've got the schedule up on my screen so I can check in case I forget anything. Our improv games and orientation workshop was a ton of fun. Kimberly Akimbo was a little strange, but I actually quite enjoyed it. Pericles was an amazing show. It was very different. I was surprised to hear that it's a Shakespeare play because I'd never heard of it before. Visiting the Museum of Modern Art was phenomenal. I know I've talked about it a lot, but Starry Night was gorgeous, and I was obsessed with it, and it was incredible, and I loved it, and it was amazing. If you get the chance, go and see it. I don't know why, but it was a whole other experience actually seeing it. It was incredible. Saying that worries me slightly because it reminds me I have a assignment on avant-garde theater, or art rather, that I need to do. I don't remember when that's due, but it's a big project. According to our instructor, who conveniently was one of our leaders on the trip, I can use Van Gogh's work as... I need to research two artists, and I can use Van Gogh's work for one of them. So I just need to find someone else in his genre, research that person, and then put together a presentation from there. So, it's doable. But, suddenly I'm remembering, oh right, I have responsibilities and a midterm in 2 days. Yeah. I think the Second City Review was so much fun. It's something I want to be a part of. That style of improvised comedy mixed with some actual scripted, a lot of actually scripted moments. I think with practice and honestly just a bit of courage, I would love to get involved in improv more than I am already, which is not very much. I say that, I'd like to get involved in improv. So, yeah. Least favorite part of the trip. As much as I kind of hate to say it, interpersonal relations and conflicts at times. Like that situation where I got called out for um, picking on someone but was never told what happened, or putting up with alpha on the trip. Um, yeah, I've gone to, if there's someone I want to refer to but don't want to name, I'm using the phonetic alphabet. So yeah, alpha. um, someone Kilo. Kilo was a bit of a pain, but it's fine. We got over it. Yeah, there were challenges, but there was a lot of good, and I had enough people who I could count on to be my friend and to be safe to talk to that it wasn't so terrible. So, yeah. If I could do anything different, or have the trip be different in general, I was a little bothered with how transit was handled. I was under the impression at the start of the trip that all transit would be covered for us, and then I got on the trip and found out we had to pay for 2 full days in New York of our own transit, and then they paid for us to get to the Toronto hostel, but everything after that, including getting to the airport after, was not free. We had to cover ourselves. And they told us everything in Toronto was in walking distance, everything on our schedule. That is a lie. That is a lie. Sorry. Blatant lie. Some of the places we went to were over an hour walk. Yes, maybe, sure, technically in walking distance. I don't want to wake up an extra hour earlier so that I can walk. So, that was kind of annoying. I was originally really excited about the amount of free time we had, but I'd have actually liked it to be a little busier with scheduled things. We didn't see that many shows. Like the first years on their trip saw the same number of shows we did in a week. We had 2 weeks. Half the days had no show on them. And for a theater trip, it was a little bit disappointing. Oh, my computer went to sleep. That's odd. This thing was running a download, but whatever. I'd have liked to see... I mentioned it yesterday. I'd have loved to see more educational focused workshops, like practically learning skills that we can take back to Rosebud. I think that the workshops we had were good, but the writing workshop was the only one that really did that. All the others, not so much. So, yeah, but it was a good trip. It was long, it was tiring. I whined about being tired a lot, and I'm sorry for that. But, yeah, it was fun. And I got an excuse to go to New York. I don't know if that'll ever happen again, so I got to do it. Yeah. So, general thoughts on the show, I guess. Or on the trip, and that's that. The next thing I need to touch on is the life of this channel. Because, as I said, I started it out as a journal for the trip. I need to send just a link to my channel to my instructor so they can look at what I've put together and mark that I did this. But I don't really want this to end. I'm at a crossroads, and I could easily walk away from it and just say I did my assignment, I'm done, goodbye. And I have nothing riding on it. I don't really have a viewer base. Pretty much anyone watching is a friend, someone from Rosebud, someone who I can talk to anyway, or my mother, who I can call home and talk to anyway. But I kind of want to keep going. But I also need to acknowledge the practicalities of that. let's be honest, day-to-day life in school is not that thrilling for a journal, or for a vlog thing. So what I might switch to is a weekly upload. I might aim for Sundays. So that's a day off that we have that would give me time to edit, and I could reflect on the week, because our weekend's on Saturday, so it would be a reflection on the school week. So we'll see what happens going forward. Let's have some fun with it. Oh, anything else I need to touch on? I don't think so. I want to give a bit of a shout out to my friend Christopher Allen, because he's the guy who got me into this whole mess. He started a channel. He inspired me to do it. He inspired Alpha to do it as well. Well, kind of. He's gotten a few of us interested, and the passion and the energy and the dedication he's put into it, and the smile I see it put on his face every time I see him working on a video. He loves what he's doing. And I wouldn't be here if it weren't for him. I'd probably be doing a written journal in a Word document. So, thank you, Chris. If I remember, because I'm really bad at this, we'll try and put a link to his channel in the description of this video. Go say hi, go subscribe, he's awesome. Yeah. So what's coming up in this week? I'll wrap up with that. Let me pull up my calendar. Stand by. As much as I love my computer, I need to mess with its sleep settings because it'll go to sleep really early on me. All right. So we have no classes tomorrow during the day. We have Masterworks Choir at night. Oral communications will happen. Theater history. That's the class where I have that assignment due. It's going to be fun to work on. Theater management and topics in acting. Stage combat should be interesting. We'll be starting up our new unit, I guess, on working with swords. We had a unarmed combat midterm shortly before we left on the trip. In fact, I think just the day or two before we left. So, yeah, switching to swords will be fun. There's a midterm in oral communications on Friday, and Friday night and Saturday all day are rehearsals for The Voice of the Prairie. I should probably look over my lines. I haven't touched those in weeks. Yeah. I also need to work on memorizing a scene for acting coaching, because the acting coaching midterm is... I think it's next week sometime. We're not off book. So that's going to be fun. But yeah. They're going to drop us right in. We're going to have a lot of stuff to do right away as the show gets going. Or as the... What did that even mean? As the semester picks up again. So I'll leave it there. And I will probably see you on Sunday. Ta for now.